In this video, I'm going to cover some of the things that surprised me when I came to the Philippines. Some things that still surprised me a little bit. 10 years later, I came in August 2015 originally. And anyway, let's get into the details. Some that will surprise you if you haven't been here before. Uh, Transportation when I first got here. Let me back up a bit. Before I came, I read a number of books. I ordered online and watched. There was 3 or 4 vloggers back then, 2015, the only ones I was aware of, and watched them and thought I had a pretty good handle on everything. Flew into Manila, switched planes, flew into Cebu City, and I was lucky enough to meet up with a foreigner who was also on my flight, and we talked and we shared a taxi. He'd been here a number of times, and so he helped me find the right taxis. In fact, his girlfriend met him there and had a taxi waiting for us. But there's the difference between the white and the yellow taxis, plus the bigger vans, that sort of thing. The cost of transportation and the different modes of transportation, the jeepneys, the hobble hobbles, which I often take now, the taxis, buses, of course, your airlines go certain places as well. But absolutely, even though I'd read about how friendly the Filipinos were, I was surprised in the first couple of months. Every place I went, especially the malls, and if I'm looking for clothes or something, boy, two, three, four, five salespeople, male and female, between 20 and 35 usually, coming around me. Where's your second question? Where's your wife, sir? No wife. Oh, give her your phone number. She's looking. She's a young, 30 something. And I was just surprised at how many people wanted to set me up, introduce me to a female who might be interested in a foreign boyfriend. And getting back to transportation, it was almost impossible to find any source online of schedules, bus schedules, jeepney schedules, that sort of thing. They just run. You need to ask the locals, and the locals know, and they'll tell you, well, it's 2 rides. If you ask them, how long does it take you to get to such and such place? Well, it's 2 rides, or it's 3 rides, or it's 1 ride, and they're talking about jeepneys. And if you try to get the distance from them, they have no idea what the distance is. Um, the next thing I'd like to talk about, the poverty, even just riding into my hotel from the airport. These kids, and that happened to me almost every day when I was in a taxi. These kids and sometimes adults holding a baby would come up and knock on the window of the taxi asking for money. And the amount of poverty here just blew me away. I thought I was prepared for it, but it was much greater, much in your face, so to speak. Just everywhere I went. Finding a place, a more permanent place, was difficult. I went online and I found a number of agents. I contacted a number of people, sent emails and/or messages, and 90% of them never responded. I finally found one on actually Craigslist, which was strange, and he had only checked his account because he wasn't getting much from his other sources, I guess. And he showed me around, I think six different places. I finally got tired of looking. I just chose the best one out of those, and about, I think, 13 or 14,000 with condo fees, condo dues, and everything included. Um, and I thought I was going to pay about 10. I've done my research, and the vloggers back then were in Dumaguete, mostly in Dumaguete and Iloilo. I don't know that there probably were, but I wasn't aware of any in Cebu City, so I was getting prices from them, and from online. So it was more expensive. What I found, things were more expensive. Cost of living was a little more expensive than I thought it was going to be, but still within my budget. And then it came time to uh, extend my tourist visa, and so I went to the immigration office over in Mandawi, J Center Mall. It was then, and the process there was relatively easy. I looked everything up online. I provided them with the information they asked for. Had printed out the forms, filled them out before I got there. I know several people don't. They wait till they get there. They hand them the form. They fill it out right there while they're there. Easy enough. Nowadays, you can even do it online. Um, Sometimes I guess there's still some bugs in the system. Sometimes you can do it online. Sometimes the system isn't up and running properly. That's what I've been told a number of times. But immigration, I did. There's signs, no fixers, no fixers. Which are people that'll pay them extra. They'll try to process whatever you need processed. And several months later, I actually was approached by somebody and said, "What do you need? How much would you want to pay for this? I'm able to do this for you. How much would you like to pay?" And so I have a couple other times over the years as well. I've been approached and by fixers, and I never chose to use them. I've done everything on my own. But now I use a visa agent, JRC Visa Agent. GRC Visa Consultancy and Immigration Services. I've done a lot of interviews with them, and they've got office in Cebu City across from Ayala Mall, in Manila, and in Dumaguete right next to the immigration office there. And it is so much easier. I don't have to deal with setting aside half my day or longer to take care of things. I give them my passport, and they used to return it the same day, but now immigration takes longer. They can deliver a certain day and pick up a certain day, I think. So they might have my passport for a week, 5, 6, 7 days, something like that, which I always have a copy of all my documents in case I do want to travel. And then getting to my hotel, and breakfast was included, and you order and you get one egg and rice and some sort of meat, and the meat was nothing that I'd ever heard of. Longanisa and a few other different types of meat products that I hadn't heard of, so I tried them all over the course of a couple of weeks. And if you want an extra egg, you pay extra for an extra way. And a lot of these places don't have brewed coffee. They've got this, what they call 3-in-1, and it's instant coffee, sugar, and creamer. And that's what they call coffee, a lot of places. The more expensive, the little higher end hotels and resorts might have coffee at least in the morning. Might not have it in the afternoon. And one thing you learn real fast is that using the CR, comfort room, the toilet, the bathroom, there is no paper in there. There's no toilet paper. There is no soap. There is no paper to wipe your hands on after you wash your hands, all that sort of thing. So you learn very quickly to carry sanitizing wipes, or I always have 3 or 4 paper towels wrapped up in my in one of my pockets. So be aware of that. And even I've met a couple of subscribers who have watched my videos and lots of other people's videos, and still they come here, and I'm the one I picked up at the airport, and he uses a bathroom in a hotel, and his first statement is, "There's no paper. There's no paper in the bathroom." Well, that's one of the main things you need to know when you get here. For those of you who have been here, what are some of the biggest surprises that you found when you were here? Let us know in the comments. Things that took me a while to get used to, the money system, the Philippine peso and the exchange rate, thinking through that in my mind, that took me a little while, but not too long. The metric system, a lot of things are in metric here, so centimeters and meters and Celsius instead of Fahrenheit, number of things like that. Another surprise, even places like McDonald's and other fast food places, other restaurants where you would generally clean up after yourself, you would take your tray and dump your things in the trash. Here they have somebody to do that, and they, no sir, no sir, leave that for us. We'll take care of that. The problem is sometimes they get busy, and that person who should be cleaning is doing something else, and you have your tray of food, but there are no clean tables. So many times that's an issue. Here's a birthing center, and these guys didn't speak English. I don't think. I was trying to tell them that I needed to deliver my baby. And anyway, I'm going to go in here and have a chat. They invited me in. I should have did an interview in there. These are the nurses.
Is this the place? Yeah.
Yeah, this is flying in.
All right. How many people do you get every day?
Every day, it depends upon the weather.
Oh.
This is
And you deliver the baby?
yeah.
Okay.
We're the midwife.
And then you send them home?
Nah,
You keep
24 hours after.
24 hours after. Okay. Very good.
Please come in. Sit down. Have a seat.
All right.
You're from?
America.
Oh.
I've switched over to another walking video in the Uptown area. Ran out of video there. Anyway, another surprise was that a lot of these buildings, do not have real addresses. They do not have a street number, and therefore oftentimes you're asked, what's a landmark? What's a crossroads near where you live or what you're looking for? In fact, when I first came here, I stayed in a hotel called Premier City Suites, and I didn't think to get the street cross streets, that type of thing. When I got here, got into a taxi in the Brown Fuenteos Mina Circle, I think, and told him Premier City Suites, and he took me to City Suites, which is not Premier. It's on the other side of the Uptown area. And so he was lost, and I was lost, so I decided, well, I'm going to walk. I'm not going to have a taxi try to find this place. So I walked around, asked different people, and finally found my way back. Even using Google Maps sent me down a couple dead-end streets, so it was not that reliable as well. And you'll find that here, especially if you're looking for a particular place. And another surprise, shouldn't be such a surprise, but many of you know that it's one of my pet peeves. Noise everywhere, and it's the roosters. That's not quite as bad for me. I can tolerate the roosters. The barking dogs that go on all day. It's like one barks for a few hours, then another one takes over, but the traffic noise. More and more every year, these motorbikes. There are some cities, Iloilo, Bacolod, a number of other cities that enforce the muffler laws on these motorbikes, but apparently not here in Cebu City for the most part. And everybody thinks it's cool to have a loud motorbike, so yeah, every month there's more of that. And then the barangay noise. They've got fiestas throughout different times of the year, and they can have that music cranked up until 4 a.m. a lot of times. And you don't have well sealed windows and doors, so that noise comes in. They don't have, for the most part, double. There's a Filipino manufacturer here in Cebu area that does make double pane windows. You can purchase that type of thing, but generally you don't find it in the hotels and condominiums and homes around here. And another thing, I had mentioned money before, but getting used to it. But in particular, gosh, I think 90% of the places where I want to spend money, you've got your 1 peso, and you got your 5 peso, your 10 peso, your 20 peso, your 200 peso, 500 peso, and 1,000 peso. 1,000 peso is about $20 with exchange rate now. It's a little less than that. Uh, but so many places. Do you have smaller bill? We don't have change for 1,000. You know, how many places in your country have you in the U.S. You take out a 20 and they say, oh, we don't have change for that. Do you have smaller coins? Anyway, that continues to be a challenge here. Some places, McDonald's, some pharmacies often have change, but even there, sometimes they'll ask. We even had a bank. I wanted to get smaller bills, and they said, "No, sir, we don't have smaller bills right now. Later in the day, we will." Shopping for groceries in the grocery stores and markets was also eye-opening with the prices per kilogram, and so many different types of products, Korean and Chinese and Japanese, and different fruits and vegetables, trying to figure out all that and what to do with it. Anyway, thanks for watching.